Welcome to Jackie's Craft Table. Hi, Jackie here. Thanks for joining me for another card crafting video today. I felt it was time to create a welcome fall card, and I'm using a cute set from Lawn Fawn called Jump for Joy. I'm going to jump right into this project with some stamping on some Canson XL watercolor paper. I'm going to watercolor the leaves and the acorn with various fall-time hues from the Prima paints. I end up stamping a lot more than I actually use on this card, but I had fun painting them in, and I can save the rest for another card. I just love this pile of leaves stamp image that I'm using. All of the images and critters in this set are just darling. I'm using a size 2 round brush to color in all of these little images. After I finish painting all of these, I'm going to die cut the images, and it doesn't take as long as it looks like it should because I tape all of the 3 dies in place with a long strip of micropore tape. After I run them through the Sizzix Big Shot machine, I can simply pull up the strip of tape and tape it down over the next 3 images again. And I don't have to realign it because the tape just keeps all of them in place. So the process didn't take very long. It went pretty fast. And then when I'm done, I have all of these little images and they have a cute white border around each of them. The set comes with 2 tree branches. And I didn't stamp out these images, I'm simply using brown cardstock to cut out these dies. I'm going to use the same brown cardstock to cut out a frame for my card. I'm using 2 faux stitched rectangular dies to create my own frame. This card is going to be a mixed medium card, so I watercolored the leaves, and now I'm pulling out my colored pencils to color in these little critters. I'm using a blending pencil to blend the colors together on these little critters. Sometimes I'll pull out my mineral spirits to blend the colors together, and that's really fun to do, to blend them with a blending stump. Today I'm just using the blending pencil. I thought that was enough. I wanted this owl to be kind of a reddish brown, so I pulled out my terracotta, number 944, and also my Tuscan red for the darkest shadows, number 937. I'm using light flesh, number 927, sand, number 940, and yellow ochre, of course, for the highlights, number 942. I end up using yellow ochre on all of these animals. As I said before, it is my favorite colored pencil, and I think that it adds a lot of pretty bright highlights to the images. On the fox, I'm using vermilion red, number 921, poppy red, number 922, crimson red, number 924, and then for his face and the tip of his tail, I used ginger root, number 1084. I will have all of the colors listed on my blog. I'm using the crimson red to add some of my darkest shadows on this little fox. The yellow ochre I kind of use as a blending pencil as well. I just go back over the whole image with it. For the hedgehog's belly and face, I'm using ginger root and yellow ochre again. For the rest of him, I'm using raw umber, number 941, and burnt umber, number 947. And I'm just using some little flicking motion to add some dimension and some faux texture to this hedgehog. I also go in with pink, number 929, on both the hedgehog and the fox for their little ears. Now I can tape on the dies for these images and run them through the Sizzix Big Shot. I had a hard time coming up with an idea for the background for this card. My initial idea was to watercolor the background, but then I thought I would use some of the beautiful text that comes in this set. I'm simply lining up 2 of the sentiments onto my stamp press. They say "Jump for Joy" and "So Thankful," And I'm also using a little heart that came in the set and an exclamation mark. I'm going to stamp this repeatedly down some craft cardstock. This is a craft hybrid ink from My Favorite Things. I'm using this ink so that I can achieve a tone-on-tone effect. I want it to be a subtle background that won't compete with my images, but still be something different and fun to look at. I'm going to start putting my card together, and the first thing I'm going to do is glue down some grass that I die cut. And then I can add my tree branch. I only end up using one of those. I want it to be kind of peeking out from the frame, so I'm just adding a little bit of glue to that. I'm using some Tombow tape runner to adhere my frame onto my background panel. I'm also using a little multimedia matte glue on the back of my tree branch to keep that in place. I'm using this particular kind of glue here because if it were to leak from behind the tree limb, it would dry matte and you won't be able to see it on my card panel. I'm going to adhere this card panel onto another piece of plain craft cardstock. And this is where I run out of my Tombow tape runner. I have just enough to apply that panel on. So to attach my critters, I'm using some Tombow Mono liquid glue. This ended up working out really well because this glue does give you a little bit of time to position your pieces and wiggle them into place until the glue dries. For my main sentiment, I'm going to use another sentiment from this set, and it says "Fall is Here," and I'm using some chocolate brown ink for this. I run it through the Sizzix Big Shot with one of my faux stitched banner dies. And then I can apply that to the front of my card. I'm adding a few of the leaves that I watercolored and die cut, and then I'm going to pull out a pre-made card base and attach my panel to that. I do have a whole pile of leaves left over, but that's okay. I'll just have to make up another card with them. This card was a lot of fun to make. Thanks again for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel to be notified when my next video comes out. Have a wonderful day. Bye!